screen too.
I can't see her. I gotta switch screens. There we go.
We're good, Jared. We're live.
Oh, cool. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the North Gateway Redevelopment Advisory Board meeting for April. Go ahead and call roll call. Teresa, you want to call roll call?
Yes, I will.
Oh, cool.
Okay, Mike Alley,
Here.
Barbara Hickey-Rish,
Here.
Brittany Davison,
Here.
Nate Levin,
Here.
Jared Martin.
Here.
Pedro Merrill. Not here yet. Mike White.
Here.
Mark Adams. Not present yet. And Dania Ballard says she will be late.
Excellent. Can I get a motion for approval of the agenda?
Agenda for.
Yeah, agenda.
This is Brittany. I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Do I have a second?
Second. By Nate.
Second by Nate. All in favor?
Aye.
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 And can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the March 4th meeting?
So moved. Nate.
And a second?
Second, Mike Alley.
Mike Alley. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Yeah.
No public comment. So we have Nicole here with us from the Salem Housing Authority to give us kind of an update on a couple different projects. You want to go ahead, Nicole?
Sure. Good morning, I'm Nicole Yates. I'm the Housing Administrator for Salem Housing Authority. Thanks for having us at your meeting this morning. I will apologize that I have two dogs and they often decide when they're going to bark and be rambunctious. So if you hear them in the background, I just apologize ahead of time. But I'm here this morning to talk about Redwood Crossings. I do know that you guys are familiar with this project, and it is the first of a kind for us for a Housing First model. 37 units, permanent supportive housing, 6 of them being leased to Salem Health. It's been a successful project. It's been a challenging project to get going. Opening a project or doing construction during COVID, and then ending construction at the time of the wildfires. And then shortly after that, we ended up with a COVID outbreak at the building. So it's been a challenging year, but we are 100% committed and 80% of the units are fully leased. We did have to slow down lease up due to the COVID outbreak and compliance with Marion County Health Department so that we could spread out individuals and not have shared bathrooms for a period of time. But we're back on track. Our biggest challenge is finding individuals. We have over 150 people on the waiting list to get into that property, but it can be very difficult to track them down due to addresses, phone numbers changing, locations changing. So our housing navigators out there in the field are amazing and been very helpful and making that successful. And so a little bit along that line, we do have a YouTube virtual tour. So if you have not been able to tour the building, I'll put it up in chat here after I finish talking so that you're able to see a full on tour. Our local photographer, Brian Stone, we do have authorization to share that with anybody who would like to view it. So we're happy to share it and let people see the building because unfortunately this is the first of the ones that we've opened during a pandemic, and taking tours of the building has been a little bit more challenging. But a great project. We've been working well with the neighborhood. We have over 50 some parking spaces and we usually have about 5 of them being utilized. So we're not overburdening the area with additional cars. The activity is being managed well by Arches and our homeless rental assistance program who are on site. And everything's been going great and we can't be more appreciative of all of your support. And along that line, we wanted to just kind of roll out and let you guys know about our latest development that's in production, which is Sequoia Crossings. We just recently announced this in our program management report, and we've been working on it. We're trying to put together another permanent supportive housing project. This will be in North Salem. almost to the border of Kaiser. And it should be, we're trying to get a 60 units out of that project. Very similar to Redwood Crossings, only this one will be studios, 1 and 2 bedrooms, and it can allow for families and additional individuals in household members to be able to live at this property. It is a full permanent supportive housing project. We will have a memorandum of understanding with the Mid-Willamette Valley Community Action Agency again for supportive services on site. It's designed out to be a beautiful project with great community space, community room, and plenty of offices for on-site wraparound services. And then I'm also here just to update you a little bit about the Homeless Rental Assistance Program and let you know that we're currently serving over 342 individuals with that program, which is the support of the city of Salem with funding. So we're still continuing to make progress for individuals during this pandemic. And if I can answer anybody's questions about anything that we have going on at the Housing Authority, I'd be happy to do so.
I got one question for you. So you say you guys have to track the people down that you're trying to get in. How long are you looking before you're just, making sure to fill the room?
So there are HUD requirements because they're called project-based vouchers on site that we do attempt to try to track the individuals down. That's typically we give a mailing out and ask for a response within 14 days. And during that duration of time, if we're not getting any response, we're sending out the navigation team to also try to locate them as well. But we actually cannot move on until we can document that we have attempted every possible avenue to find that individual.
Oh, okay.
Where do the initial applications come from?
The initial applications are, they actually go through the coordinated entry process at the Arches building. And then they're referred to the waiting list, and everything is date and time order based off of the coordinated entry assessment.
Are you identifying or have you seen any operational issues, problems with the clients? In other words, are there any personal management issues because of the type of clientele?
I have a sneaking suspicion that her dog is having a moment. And so she's probably relocating so she can respond to your question. She didn't warn us ahead of time that might happen. We can only control so much, I guess, in these situations. So I think we just give her a couple seconds here and I'm sure she'll be able to pop back on.
I apologize. We have a change in shifting of who's at remote today here, and it's really rocking one of our dog's boat. So I'm very sorry about that. Can you repeat your question for me? I caught about half of it before he decided he wasn't happy.
Are there any operational problems I'm familiar with senior housing and I'm familiar with assisted housing, but I'm not familiar with this type of clientele-based housing. Are there any particular operational or management issues with regards to the occupancies that have shown up as a problem?
So the biggest challenge is this is a first of its kind for us. And so this entire year has been a learning experience. It is a congregate style facility. And so everybody who walks through the door is actually COVID screened. It would have been probably a little bit different had we not opened during a COVID pandemic. And then the wildfire situation actually made it more monumental for us because everybody dispersed during the wildfires and that was making it harder for us to find people. But the biggest operational challenge was meeting all the demands of the COVID pandemic and ensuring that we could have all safety precautions put into place, all of our social distancing put into place, ensuring we have the proper PPE on site and that everybody's screened coming through the doors. This building is always going to be a little more challenging in the fact that we have a security company that does regular rounds at this site on an evening basis, which is something that we don't typically do at our other projects. And then we have to have the wraparound services that are there on from 8 until about 7 o'clock every single night, which
Okay.
is also unique in itself. If we could, we'd have 24/7 operational wraparound services. I will say that in the future, and we've advocated for legislation for more rental assistance to be put into these type of projects to ensure that we can fund more or 24/7 wraparound services, because that gap in time can create us some trouble with just behavior activity that's going on. But that's also why we initiated the evening patrols of security and making sure that we have somebody visually there. We also do have 47 cameras on the building to ensure that we can.
One of the goals, as I understand it, is to be able to move the people through the process and the support system that can put them into permanent housing situation and on toward self-employment, etc. So the question that I have is, are you going to be tracking the success of each of the, or stability of each of the tenants as you go through?
Absolutely. Yes, definitely. We actually have a few that are doing great. That the wraparound services being provided has been very beneficial. There's some that have come through that have quickly turned around, and then there's others that are struggling, and we're working with them on a regular daily basis with wraparound services. So each individual's needs are very unique, and that's the important part with the individual case management that's there on site to try to assess the best method to try to assist an individual to get them back onto a path of self-sufficiency. But when we opened these doors, we knew that some would be there for 12 months and some would be there for longer than that until they can stabilize back out.
Great, thank you very much.
You're welcome. And that's part of the reason we're also doing Sequoia Crossings, is that the coordinated entry level for the Redwood Crossings building is one that's really an individual that has a trimorbidity. They have disability, drug or alcohol addiction. They've been homeless for over 5 years. Sequoia Crossings will offer a lot of that same to those individuals as well, but it will also maybe have another level that maybe isn't quite to that need to get quickly turned back out and into the community.
Okay, good.
Do you know where the Sequoia spot is going to be?
Yes, Sequoia is actually at 3120 Broadway Street Northeast. It's owned already by the Salem Housing Authority. It's been a vacant parcel of ours. It was demolished in 2009. It was a 30-unit public housing site that was in pretty rough repair, and it wasn't cost effective for us to rehab it. So the goal has always been to put in new affordable housing on this property and hopefully build up the density. 30 units on 3 acres is a very small amount of units that we can be offering assistance to. So we've bumped it up to 60 and doubled it by providing a new project there.
And you already own the property, so that's good.
Yes, we also own the property. Makes it very helpful. That has been a challenge, is coming up with property to build more affordable housing.
Yeah.
We also have Yaquina Hall, which I'm not sure if you've heard about, but Yaquina Hall is on the state hospital grounds, and it is a 52 unit. It has a 25% for serious and persistent mental illness. They're all 1 bedrooms, which we are in dire need of at the Housing Authority. And so we're very excited. That is set to close the middle of October of this year. And hopefully construction will start quickly after that. We were waiting on a subdivision, a final subdivision plat from the state of Oregon to get that one going.
Anybody else have any questions? No? Well, thanks, Nicola. We appreciate you giving us the update on that property.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. And again, thank you for the support. We greatly appreciate it. And I'll
Yeah.
put a link to the YouTube in case you didn't get a chance to tour or virtually tour the building.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Just to point
Sarah?
out that Pedro and Dana have joined us.
Oh, did they have any questions for Nicole? Because I think she's gone.
I'm
Oh,
still
she's
here.
there. No questions?
No questions.
All right. Staff updates. Sarah, you got anything?
I don't have anything new and exciting for you guys this month, but if you guys have anything for each other, feel free.
Anyone? I know that we're talking about probably not doing a May meeting, right? Unless something comes up.
Yep, we're going to try and get back on our every other month schedule. We know you guys, everyone has a lot going on, especially as we get to the summer. Everyone's doing a lot of virtual meetings. So, you know, we definitely want to try and limit the fatigue that everyone's feeling with that. And so we're going to try and start beefing up our every others again, like we typically do kind of into the spring and the fall once we get through the budget season. So unless something comes up that needs your action, we'll most likely try to cancel May, then have June, cancel July, have August, try and go on that schedule again, like we've typically done in the past.
Excellent. Anyone got anything else? Can't really see everybody. Well, hey, thanks for coming, everyone. And I'll join the meeting and we will see you all in June.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Jared.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.